Today is beta, I think 9th now beta. Okay. मानव ये डिसेबल कर दो और सारा कर दो डिसेबल. This is 9th beta today and I hope we have completed our half wave rectifier beta and we were to go for with the full wave, I think, you know, beta. And after that we will be having some special purpose guides and then it will be all over. So beta dear, let's begin with the door भी close कर लेता हूँ. So we were to have it a full wave rectifier, full wave rectifier beta. We were to begin with this. And beta regarding this full wave rectifier, I think we have drawn the circuit and let me have the circuit we drawn. We were to have this primary coil beta and udhar room number 15. This is a primary coil beta. This is our input AC source. This input AC source will provide us with a input AC AC source. This is the symbol for AC beta. And furthermore beta, we have secondary over here, secondary coil rather. One diode, it is connected over here. And here we have beta this second diode. These are connected in this manner. And here, this is the central tapped points along the load resistance where we are to take the output beta. And here we will have the output. Let me mark these diodes as beta. This is diode D1. This is your diode D2. And if we side by side draw input as well as output signals, in our alternating current EMI and AC chapter, we have already discussed that beta, your voltage E, this is equal to E naught sine omega t, or if we talk about the current, I is I naught sine omega t. I mean to say that this current as well as the voltage is always in the sine wave form. So you may choose, this is up to you. Now, imagine we have taken time along these axes, that is x-axis, both for input as well as for output beta, and we divide it into these small sections. These are the small sections in terms of half of the cycle. We divide it as such and let it be written like this. Here, this is our input voltage. You can take input current also. This is beta for the output voltage or output current. When we draw the input voltage beta, it is because in the sine form, sine wave form rather, it will follow this type of pattern: positive, negative, positive, negative, positive, etc. AC in our India, it is having a frequency of 50 hertz. That is, it is changing the cycles 50 times in one particular second, or 100 times direction is changed in 1 second, 2 times in one cycle between. Now during this positive spike, let us imagine that when we have this positive spike beta, then it will have this positive polarity, this polarity as the negative polarity. Now, beti, by induction, rather by mutual induction, here this will become beti negative and this is becoming positive. When this negative is connected to this P of the diode D1, this is P, this is N, again this is P, this is N. Negative is connected to the P of the diode D1, N of the diode D2, it is at some other voltage. I mean to say that when this P is at the negative potential, it will not be forward biased. It will be reverse biased. And when it will be reverse biased, beta, D1 diode, it will not conduct because it is not forward biased, it is reverse biased, it will be in the cutoff state. It will not work. And let us focus upon the diode D2. Here the diode D2 is having the P connected to the positive and it is definitely at the lower voltage or lower potential. When P is connected to the positive, your diode D2 is forward biased. And when it is forward biased, beta, you will get over here this output, beta. This is the output. And mind one thing, this is due to the diode D2, not due to the diode D1. Then beta, this negative half, negative spike, when it will be approaching our primary as well as our secondary, it will become negative and it will become beta positive. This negative by induction will lead it to the positive and this to the negative. This positive is connected to the P of the diode D1 and N is definitely at the lower potential. This will mean that D1 diode is now forward biased. And when it is forward biased, beta, D1 diode will conduct and it will contribute towards the output that we are taking across your load resistance RL. Now focus simultaneously at the diode D2. Here, P is connected to the negative terminal or the negative voltage or the lower potential. You may say anyway. So this diode D2, it will be now in the reverse biased condition. It will be cut off. It will not conduct and we will get the output not due to D2 but due to D1 this time. So here the output will be due to the diode D1. And in this manner, beta, when our positive as well as negative spikes of this input sine wave AC, these will be provided for this full wave rectifier, then beta, alternatively both your diodes will be working and we will get this type of output. This is due to D2, D1 and D2 like that. Again, mind one thing that beta here, when we come across this type of output, the problem is that beta, this output is having no doubt DC, but it is varying DC. It is not constant. It will be of little use to us because suppose you want to use this DC to run your DC motor or to run your or small device that is working on the DC. But here the DC, that is the direct current, is constantly varying. No doubt it is not at all becoming negative. It is not having so much AC components present in it, but even then there are present because of this variation. So before using this beta, this DC, it needs to be refined or it needs to be modified. And that modification, that is beta always done with the help of the filter circuits. Filter circuits are not presently in our syllabus. You will be studying these in your higher classes, beta. We will subject this output DC to the filter circuits. What the filter circuits will do, they will filter out these variations in the direct current or in the direct voltage. Then after beta, these are fed to the filter circuit. Your output, it will be beta, after fed to the full filter circuit, it will probably assume this type of behavior or this type of roughly this type of nature. And this will be then beta of full use to us. So this is beta after it is being subjected to the filter circuits. So presently our limitation is that we are not at all to discuss the filter circuits on account of the fact that these are not presently in our syllabus. So here we can make use of this part of the DC only and only after the output of the full wave rectifier is subjected to some sort of filter circuit. Now, dear children, again talking in terms of efficiency of this full wave rectifier as compared to the efficiency of a half wave rectifier, our full wave rectifier is having approximately 81% efficiency. That is, it is far more efficient in comparison to the half wave rectifier. Moreover, it is having again the presence of the ripple factor in it because of the involvement of the continuous variation of the magnitude of the DC. So ripple factor again, it is over here indicating the presence of AC components, in the output DC. And therefore these ripple factors, these need to be rectified, and that is done with the help of the filter circuits. So dear students, before we proceed further, let me have a review of all these topics related to the rectifiers. Rectifier basically is a device which converts AC into DC, and it is of two types: half wave rectifier as well as full wave rectifier. Half wave rectifier gives only one half of this as the output, and one half it will be over here, the signals will be absent. It will be that is due to this reason it will be of little use, and we don't use half wave rectifier. But when the case of the full wave rectifier comes, due to the presence of the two diodes in the half wave rectifier, only one diode was there. These two diodes are working alternatively according to the input AC supply to these, and we get the full output as such without any break. So this is the basic difference between the two. Now, after this, yesterday I was seeing the some previous year question paper, CBSE 12th standard and I came across a question in that paper that was asking the static as well as the dynamic resistance of the PN junction diode. Let me have 1 or 2 minutes devoted on that part. Then we will be coming to the other types of the diodes. Sometimes this is static and dynamic resistance of PN junction diode. Now, regarding the PN junction diode, we already have discussed it in detail. The question basically was of this type. Here, voltage was given to you, and here on this axis, current in the milliammeters was given, and the graph, it was probably of this type. We have already discussed it in detail, and on the y-axis and on the x-axis, the numerical values were given. I am not writing presently these numerical values, and these numerical values were indicating the points on the graph. Now, let me have this static and dynamic resistance at this point discussed. Suppose we at this point, at the point P, see that this much is the voltage at point P. V for the voltage, P subscript to indicate at point P, and here this is your I at point P. The ratio of the voltage and the current at a particular point, that is called static resistance. That is R static. This is voltage at point P. divided by the current at point P, it will have one single sharp numerical value. So many ohms it will be there. But when the question of dynamic resistance comes, dynamic means your PN junction diode is working, constantly working, and we are taking the resistance over the range of voltages as well as the currents. Regarding the range, you consider any other point Q and drop this perpendicular, and you can see this is VQ, this was VP, and here this is your IQ, this was IP. And if I complete this triangle, you can see PQ, let me call this as X, or we have used over here, PQX. In this triangle beta, R, it is QX divided by your, sorry, it is PX. Px divided by Qx, or in simple words, this will give you your delta V, change in the voltage across this range, and divided by the change in the current across this range. So these values give you the dynamic resistance in this case. And we generally denote it by RD. D means dynamic, S means static. So this is the simplest way to have such the numerical problems solved. This was simple numerical and that may be asked again with just a little bit change in the numerical values of the graphical axis, that is y as well as x beta. So after this let me discuss some special purpose diodes beginning with the Zener diode first Let us have a Zener diode. Zener diode. Zener diode is a special type of diode which works in the reverse breakdown region. Reverse breakdown region. By the reverse breakdown region, we mean that as you have discussed your simple PN junction diode in the reverse biased manner, it is that reverse bias in which this Zener diode, that is the special purpose diode, will be working. Provided over here one more difference is there, that in this type of diode that we call as Zener diode, our doping levels are kept high in comparison to the ordinary PN junction diode. In ordinary PN junction diode, we keep the doping levels moderate, 1 part per million. And here the P type and the N type regions are doped heavily. Doping is a little bit heavy Doping is heavy in comparison to your simple PN junction diode And dear children, third point is that here we have this type of symbol for this. Here you can say again, let me draw this symbol. This is your Zener diode with this part as P, this part as N type of region indicated. Now most important application of the Zener diode, which is every time asked and which is also present in our syllabus, maybe you can say, that is the use of Zener diode as a voltage regulator. Let us see the Zener diode as a voltage regulator. What do we mean by voltage regulation? Listen very carefully when we use the voltage, maybe at home, maybe at some of our commercial establishments sometimes the voltage from the supplier, that is the Department of Electricity, that may be varying in nature. That may not be absolutely 220 volt. If we talk about our present electric circuit, set up in our school, in our homes, etc., that requires absolutely 220 volts AC. Now, bete, if the voltage is not perfectly 220, it is fluctuating, sometimes becoming 180, sometimes becoming 240. A lot of variation is there. But our equipment, our machine, our electrical device, which is working upon this particular voltage, that needs exact one value of the voltage. So in that case, beta, those variation in the voltage, these needs to be rectified, or we need the constant voltage. Then we subject that varying voltage to the Zener diode. Zener diode will then beta make those variations eliminated. It will give us one fixed value of the voltage. This is what do we mean by voltage regulation. So beta, voltage Zener diode as a voltage regulator, beta, it provides us a constant output voltage even when varying input voltage is given to this Zener diode. Now, with a simple circuit diagram we are having for the use of this Zener diode as a voltage regulator, beta. For this, let me draw the corresponding circuit diagram, beta. Circuit diagram for the Zener diode as a voltage regulator. So, dear children, here we have, this is our dropping resistance, we call this as, and here beta we have this Zener diode in this manner, and here is our load resistance RL, across which we intend to have output voltage. This is beta your Zener diode. So across these two terminals, you can say A and B. This is a varying input voltage, beta. Varying input voltage is supplied across these two terminals, beta. And here we take a constant output voltage. This is the output which we consider across these 2 points C and D, beta. Let me make you a little bit aware about how the circuit works, beta. Imagine the voltage we apply over here, that is having less value, beta. That less value, that will mean that here across this dropping resistor, current will be less, beta. When the voltage is less, beta, dear children, we say that resistance R, this is V upon I, beta. When voltage will be less, this across this, beta, drop of the voltage, V is equal to I into R. This is available with us, beta. But a voltage drop in this case across the dropping resistor, it will become less. And more voltage will be available across your Zener diode, and you can take it across the load resistor. Now let us come to the second option. Imagine that your input voltage, which was varying in nature, it has now high numerical value of the voltage. When voltage will be high, then beta, you will say that automatically your resistor, this dropping resistor across this resistor, voltage drop will become high and low voltage will be available across this Zener diode, and beta dear, accordingly we will get again constant value of the output voltage across the output terminals. So beta, in the nutshell, I just mean to say that if the input voltage is low, we talk about the variation, beta. When the input voltage is low, across this dropping resistor, voltage drop will be less. Less voltage will get dropped across this, and here we will get some fixed value of output. And when beta input voltage will be high, then across this dropping resistor, the voltage drop will rise beta, again giving you the fixed value of the output. So whenever we come across the working, we are just to give these 2 or 3 lines in terms of the circuits working beta. So this is your beta Zener diode as a voltage regulator. Keep 2 or 3 things always in mind. It is always operated in the reverse breakdown region. It is heavily doped in comparison to our simple PN junction diode. And third is regarding its use, that it is always used as a voltage regulator. You might have seen that with a few years back, our home appliances like refrigerator, etc., they were having a voltage stabilizer on the top. That was a separate unit on the refrigerator, and that was supplied along with the refrigerator, so that if the voltage is fluctuating, our refrigerator that may not get damaged beta. So that voltage stabilizer that was making use of these Zener diodes, cascaded Zener diodes beta. So nowadays that is inbuilt in our modified or new refrigerators. So that is now the single unit beta. So is beta your Zener diode. Now beta, after the discussion of this Zener diode beta, I come across still new type of diode beta, that is LED, light emitting diode beta. Let us discuss beta light emitting diode. Full form is light emitting diode beta. Now beta, how this LED is different from our ordinary PN junction diodes beta. In our ordinary PN junction diodes beta, when we talked about the working, we were saying that when the electron and hole recombination takes place, then the diode, it becomes a little bit hot, or in scientific terms beta, the energy on account of electron and hole recombination, that is given in the form of heat energy was given out. But here in the case of LED, when the electron and holes they recombine, the output energy is not in the form of heat energy, but it is in the form of light energy. This is the basic difference. I mean to say that here, if we have this type of PN junction diode, we can say that something like this you can show, indicating the light being emitted constantly. So here in LED beta, the energy emitted by electron and hole recombinations lie in visible region. If it is in the visible region beta, only then we will be able to see it. But in case of ordinary PN junction diode, it was in the form of infrared region. Infrared means that is just in the form of heat beta. Now here, this is again having the detailed difference in terms of construction also. When we talk about light emitting diode, it is made up of compounded semiconductors. It is not made up of single semiconductors beta. Compounded semiconductors means just like gallium arsenide, indium phosphide, etc. We have more than one semiconductor involved in the formation of the P-type as well as in the N-type semiconductor crystal. You might have seen different type of display lights in the form of small bulbs that we call as LEDs beta. Sometimes these are red in color, sometimes these are green in color, sometimes these are having some other different color. So it all depends upon the amount of energy that is given out when the electrons and holes are recombining. I just again will be having this view with me, that energy is equal to H into nu beta, and Hc by lambda beta. Lambda, that is equal to H into C upon E. Now, beta, you can well imagine, dear children, I can give you the overview over here. This is V, I, B, G, Y, O, and R. Red color having beta longest wavelength, and violet color having shortest wavelength. And if I talk about shortest wavelength, it is creep 420 nanometers. It is 780 nanometers for the red color. Beta, dear students, you can see if beta wavelength is less, you can see beta, if wavelength is less, energy will be more. If energy is more, wavelength will be less. So, beta, red color, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. This color depends upon the energy that is given when the electron and holes are beta recombining. And beta, dear children, this depends upon the amount of doping as well as the nature of your compounded semiconductors. As we are seeing, gallium arsenide is there, indium phosphide is there. So by having the combination of the different semiconducting materials, we can have the different type of colors in the form of the output energy that we receive as electron and hole recombinations. सिंपल वर्ड्स में बेटा मैं फिर से रिपीट करूं, अगर हमें रेड कलर का चाहिए, सपोज करिए मैंने ये चूज किया है. इफ आई वांट ग्रीन कलर, मैं यहाँ पे कुछ और इसमें चेंज कर दूंगा, डोपिंग थोड़ी चेंज कर देंगे. अगर कोई और कलर चाहिए तो आप अकॉर्डिंगली इनको फिर से थोड़ा बहुत वेरी करके और इनकी परसेंटेज और डोपिंग लेवल्स जो हैं वो चेंज किए जा सकते हैं. तो दैट विल गिव यू द लाइट emitting diode. Dear all, one important question examiner always asks during the practical exams is that the first question examiner may be asking to you is that what do you mean by LED? We know we will be immediately saying that it is light emitting diode. Then the second question he will ask or she will ask is what is LDR? LDR. This is just for your knowledge, beta. This is light dependent resistor. In our second unit, we must have discussed something regarding this light dependent resistor beta. I can write its full form also. Light dependent resistor. So beta, its resistance, it changes as a function of the amount of the light incident on the resistor beta. So sometimes for some of the special cases, this LDR is utilized. In a simple way, suppose you have, this is the LDR, imagine, and here I am having an electric bulb with me. This is the distance between the electric bulb and LDR. Light, or the amount of light, or the amount of energy, or more scientifically, amount of light energy falling on this will decide its resistor. Its resistance. If it is far away, energy received by it will be less, its resistance will be something other. Suppose I take this bulb near, now the energy received by this LDR is more, its resistance will change. So when we will be having the chance to visit our physics lab, we will definitely be showing, I will be showing you this apparatus. It is there available, although the practical is nowadays not in our syllabus, but we used to see this apparatus as such. So beta, this was your LED and LDR. Then beta, dear children, after this LED, we have photodiode beta. Let us discuss that also. That is still some other type of special purpose diode. This is beta photodiode. And after this beta, we will be left with one or two very small type of diodes. We will finish that also as per the conditions are. Let us have a bit of photodiode. Photodiode beta, as the name is suggesting, it must be working on the principle of photoelectric effect beta. And here, if I talk about beta, the symbol for this photodiode, this is your ordinary PN junction diode. Clear? If it is to be drawn as LED, arrow is in the outward direction. Now, as it is photodiode, arrowhead will be in this way. And dear all, here this part is indicating P, this is indicating N. PN junction diode simple, and this inward arrow on this diode indicating the incident photons of the light beta. So here this photodiode beta, it is a special type of diode which works on the principle of photoelectric effect beta. Photoelectric effect. You may work it in the reverse bias also, you may work it in the forward bias also beta. I mean to say that suppose we have this photodiode with us this way, and this is indicating incident light on this. This is P part, this is N part. I connect it with the negative of the battery in this manner, this way beta. Obviously it is reverse biased, it will not conduct beta. Or even if I just reverse the polarity this way, now beta, it is forward biased, it will conduct, it will be having the output. In this particular case, I will, if plot this voltage and this current as this beta, even when over here beta, 0 volt will be applied. Due to this incident energy, electron hole pairs will be created across the gap, and those will be indicating some current in the circuit. I just mean to say that in this case beta, either you do not apply the voltage or you do not give the light. Suppose voltage apply nahi kiya, voltage is 0 according to this graph. Even then we get the electric current, or when the voltage will be there, current will also be there, light will be there, then beta graph will be of this type. It will keep on increasing, and after some time it will get some saturation value. Beyond that it can't go beta. So in this manner you can also have it worked in the reverse way also. You if have this negative and positive applied across this, negative will not let it forward bias beta. And what will be the situation in that case? Let me reverse the polarity over here beta. We may have negative positive in this manner. It is reverse biased. We don't expect any current as the output beta. Suppose we have 0 volt, even then we will have some current only because of this beta. And when you will be having it its voltage increased accordingly beta, jo current hai, that will keep on changing beta. So in this manner beta, we can have this photodiode as forward biased or reverse biased circuits as such also beta. So as the time is up, well has gone beta, we are left with 1 or 2 type of diodes. These are your solar cells, and one more diode is there. I will take 5 minutes tomorrow on this, then I will try to finish the exercise beta. So thank you all, study hard, work hard, keep on working, then